Hello everybody, Evan here. I'm going to show everybody the Zoom program if you're unable to meet one of our meetings from last week. I also have several questions from the class that were asked, and we'll go over those here today, kind of a virtual Q&A if you will. So we're looking at Zoom, and as you can see I'm recording my screen. Down at the bottom I've got Zoom. I just open that up. If you've never seen Zoom before, first off, I'm going to go to the website just so you can see this, zoom.us. Go there. You can sign up for a free account if you'd like. The AEAs have purchased a lot of paid accounts. I'm still not sure what the difference is between a paid account and a free account. It seems like they're pretty much the same feature-wise, other than you could manage a large organization and create users and things like that, maybe with really quick with a lot of people. If you go to the website, you can log in, and note you can use either your Google or your Facebook information to log in. I'm going to log in with my Google information, and I was already logged in, so it didn't ask me to re-verify. I was already logged into my Google information, I should say, so I didn't have to re-log into Google. And I've already done that before, so it didn't ask me to verify the information. Once you log in, there is a profile information. You can go. During our meeting, some people asked, how did I get a picture? And this is where I put it. I went into my account. I logged in there, put my picture. Also put in your name, other personal information if you'd like. And then you have a place where you can manage your meetings. Now, you also have this information on the app itself, and again, that app works on a computer. It also works on a mobile device. So we'll look at the computer side here and encourage you to look at the mobile device yourself. Here I have a listing of upcoming meetings that I can schedule and a list of previous meetings. You can make as many of these as you'd like. It's kind of similar to the meeting room concept that Adobe Connect Pro has. If I click on one, I can go, for example, here. And it has some text that I can use to copy and put into an email. There's also a way to do a quick invite from the meeting itself, and I'll show you that. Go back out here. Same thing. So anyway, so that's previous meetings and looking at those. Okay. There is also a section for videos to go over things, a little tutorial section online as well. That's pretty much it. Not too much there to do. Okay. So I could click host a meeting here, and that would start it up. But I'm going to, the first time you do it, it's going to ask you to download an application and install it. And then once you have it on your computer, you can start your meetings from there. So that's what I did. I opened up my program. And this little interface here, called the Zoom Cloud Meetings interface, is something you'll get used to pretty quick. Very easy to work with. As you can see, kind of built for a mobile device. I can go and I can start either a screen share meeting or a video meeting, and you can switch to either one in the middle of it if you would like. I'm going to start with a video meeting. You can also go and schedule a meeting, or you can use this to join another meeting. Before we go into the actual meeting room, if you look down here, some other tabs. I can go in here and I can click on meetings. Like I said before, online I had this information, and the application has this information. So here's my personal ID for this upcoming meeting room. And then for recorded meetings, I can go in here and I can play the recording that I had made earlier. Note, when it makes a recording of both video and audio. And so you can actually play either. The video has audio in it, but the audio is a nice smaller file version. And a lot of people, once they record a meeting, really don't want to see the video for it because it's a lot of talking heads. So they just want the audio. Okay. There also are some settings. We'll look at settings later on in the actual application. So I'm going to go ahead, open up a video meeting, and hey, there I am. Here's the interface for the meeting room. As you can see, you probably got me twice now, to image from here and image from my screencast. Some quick controls. Right down here is the place where I can mute my mic. Okay, I'm going to actually mute my mic from right now since I'm recording into my screencast program here. But normally I wouldn't have done that. Audio, if you click here, this is the audio information. And you can, by default, it does audio through your speakers. It's called IP audio. But you can also use a telephone. It has a built-in telephone with a dial-in number to use. There is a charge for this. I'm not sure what it is. It's not a 1-800 number, so a participant would have to pay to call in for that. So that's something to know. But the nice thing is, if they call, then that would be a part of the recording that you would have. Okay. Each room has a 9-digit meeting room number, and then each person will have an ID number. They have to type that in when they join. Or actually, the ID number is assigned when they come. They have to type in the meeting ID. Okay. Video, you can turn off or on your video. There, now I turned it off, and I turned it back on. And the settings tab is pretty self-explanatory. Here's where you can actually control your audio. You can see it's checking out my mic level. I can test my speakers there, that type of thing. Video we saw, when I pulled it up, you could pull it from a different source if you'd like. There's nothing in feedback. Recording, though, this is where you can control where it records. Not only does it record up in the cloud, but it also records on your computer. The default, like on a Macintosh, is within the Documents folder. In Windows, it would be the My Documents folder. Creates a folder called Zoom, and then it puts those recordings in there. And you could, again, put that in a different spot if you would like. Account information tells me how I'm logged in, and this information, just some basic setups. Most people don't have to worry about that. All right. I said you could invite people from the meeting room. You can click here. Again, it will go and generate that email from this kind of standard text. You can add to it if you'd like. You can use your email or your Gmail or your Yahoo Mail, whatever you want to open up. Again, you can open up Google Friends. I don't personally have a lot of Google Friends. That's probably says more about me than you need to know. But if I did have a ton of Google Friends, if I was really popular, I could go and I could select those people and put them in, and it would send out an invitation automatically for them. Okay. So far, as you can see, the program pretty lightweight. It's similar to Skype in terms of its video conference. Nice quality of video, by the way. Have had now up to 10 people on a video conference, and all of their screens were actually nice and tracking very well. Very impressed. Much better than Adobe Connect Pro. Remember, Skype you can't do multiple people video with, so that's really good. I've even found the video quality better than Google Hangout. One of the questions for today was talking about the differences between them, so we'll talk more about those two here in a second. All right, I'm going to go over to another machine and join this meeting. And what I'm doing is I've opened up the application on that machine, and you know that tile that had the 4 buttons on it. One said join a meeting, and I've clicked on that, and I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to type in the meeting number. You can see that at the top of the screen here. It's 705-696-557. And as for my name, one of the advantages of Zoom is you do not have to have an account. So on this person, I'm not going to have an actual account. Just going to log in basically as a guest, but choose my name. Okay, and now I'm in. Now you can see me here in surround sound. I'm going to turn off my volume here on the other computer. Okay, that should have taken care of it. So now I don't get that echo. Okay. All right, so what you have here is now you've got a video conference. The other person is logged in. You see yourself at the top. You see the other computer there. So other computer, right like that. Okay. You can also see who that person is, by the way. Let's see if I do that again. So it shows the name of the person, like that's Evan Abbey, and I am meeting with, I don't know how I did it. Okay, well, we'll get to it. The next tab below is participants. Click that up. That creates a little pop-up, as you can see here. Okay. And in that pop-up, you see your own name. You can always rename yourself, and you see all the other people. In this, unlike Adobe Connect Pro, you can only have one host. Their permission level is either guest or host. So in this case, you got one host. And with any guest, you can go in, you can mute them or not. You can make them the host. Now, careful if you do, it demotes you, so it can only be one. It's kind of like Highlander. You can remove that person. And check out this. So you can allow that person to record the screen. This is one of the big differences between Zoom and any other application I've seen, is that not only can you record the host, but other people can record on their own machine, which is kind of neat. So those are the basic settings that you can do. And again, you can have multiple people there. As you can see, I'm meeting with somebody famous. In addition to that, I'm going to click on chat. It pulls open a chat window. Used to calling them pods because of Adobe. And you can go in and type to that person. You can do to all, or you can send it just to one person as well, and they can chat back. Okay. When you receive a chat back, do that really quick. Better close this tab here. You'll see a pop up here below that indicates you've got a chat that comes in, a little one, and then you can pop that up. That's kind of nice. You don't have to have it open during a meeting, but if questions are flying in, you'll see it there. And finally here, to record, this is pretty easy. Just click the record and it's recording. And then when you're done, you just click here to stop record, or there's a little icon up there at the top as well. Finally, close the chat pod. The last one is to end the meeting. You close that, you click on that, and you have the option of either ending it for all or just leaving the meeting. And if you do that, it'll have to shift over the host responsibilities over to that other person. One last thing up here, you can tile how people are viewed in the room. So a different view there, and you can also make it full screen if you'd like. Okay. All right. A couple of people have asked here on the participant tab at the top, it says mute all, unmute all. That makes sense. What about lock screen sharing and lock meeting? Well, lock screen sharing, this is one item I haven't looked at right here. We're going to look at it in a minute. Is you can click to go ahead and share your screen with other participants, and anybody can do that. It's really easy to do. But if you click lock screen sharing, then the guests cannot. That keeps them from doing that, so that only one person has access to that. It's just a control mechanism within the meeting room. The lock meeting keeps it from somebody else coming in. So even if they have the number or have an invite, they can't come in the meeting. So it's 8:30. Sorry, can't come in anymore. That's the way it works. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close that, and I'm going to start a screen share. As you can see here, when you do that, it asks which one do you want to go ahead and open up. Lots of different options. I don't have my other monitor hooked up. If I did, you'd see desktop 2, so you can actually have a dual monitor situation going on, which is really nice. Be showing one and seeing your, have a off video workspace as well. I'm going to go ahead and do my whole desktop. And there was an item in there that I clicked on that said, "Would you want it with sound or without sound?" The with computer sound is sounds that your computer makes that normally, like I clicked without, so it's filtering those out. So if my computer makes a beep or that whoosh sound from an email or whatever, that will go ahead and be edited out. If you have a video that you want to play, for example, you do want to play the with computer sound so that it can play that video. Okay, once again, you've got your video screen up here that you can go and you can manage, and you can turn that off. Here's the basic controls, and only the host will see this. The guest will not see this. You can pause your screen sharing if you'd like. You can. This will bring it back up. Annotate is pretty cool if you bring that up. This is like Adobe Connect Pro. You can go and annotate on there. The big difference here, at least as far as I have found, is that it's only an option for the host, not for other people. The Spotlight tool is kind of nice. This is just when you click on things, it kind of shows you, helps people see where the mouse is, and there's a little flash of light when you click on something. So if you're trying to explain to somebody how to navigate through a website, that's a really good tool right there. The arrow tool is similar, just to call out. but you can click and it leaves it there, just wherever you want. It does put your name in there, which makes me wonder if they're going to add in functionality for other people to do annotation later on. And then you can erase all, or you can change the color. Again, audio, video, those controls, more, there's not much else. Those are the different things that we saw before you can bring up. The remote control, though, this is, I can give access to another person. So I'm going to go ahead and click to give it to my other person. On his screen, it says, click on here to take control of the computer. And when I've done that, now, I need to do that again. Okay, and I have to click on the screen, the screen share that I see on there, and now I've got control. I know you can't see this very well, but look at this. Ooh, on a different computer, I'm controlling the screen. Very, very exciting. Again, this is kind of nice. You can do it this way if you want to help out somebody. They're having problems with their computer or what have you. Go into your Zoom meeting room. Send out a link, or if you're on the phone with them, read off the number and tell them, okay, go to zoom.us, type in this number, you're going to come into this meeting room, or you have to download the application. Once you're in, then, okay, look at the bottom, click the little icon that says screen share, okay, that'll share your screen, and then up at the top, give me, where it says request control, give me control. Now you can control the screen, you can go in and see what's wrong, what needs to be fixed. I've used this in like Adobe to install things like Java. People say, oh, I've got Java installed, or whatever. No, they didn't have Java installed. So when I took control, I could go and I could fix it. So that's a nice feature. If I click here on my own screen, I retake control. That's a way of quickly retaking control. Now, if the other person goes back and clicks on theirs, they retake control. If I want to take it away for good, I need to go up here and click off of that. Now they don't have access. They can't get access anymore. All right. And so that's the basics of Zoom. Kind of showed you the different things. I'm going to go ahead and stop the sharing of the screen. I'm going to end the meeting. And I'll bring back up my item. Made my recording of my video into the folder. You can see the two different files there. And I'm going to go ahead and show you one more thing. I'm going to schedule a meeting. It's very quick, easy to do. You can go in, set the date, time, whether it's going to be a video meeting or a screen share meeting. And again, that you can change halfway through if you'd like. That's not a problem. Just what does it start with? You can require a password if you'd like, if you want some extra security. You can enable people to get into the room before you get there. That is a nice feature that a lot of people like with Adobe Connect Pro. And then you can use, you can make it so that it has a calendar thing that goes to a calendar, iCal, Google, that type of thing. All right, and that's it. So one person asked, why would people do this when they've got Google Hangout, Google accounts, that type of thing, and such. And again, a lot of the features I showed you are part of Zoom's free account. It's not really something that I don't think I showed you anything that you had to pay for necessarily. A couple things to think about. Well, first off, with Google Hangout, you can't record it. You could use a different program, like I'm using Captivate to do a recording of my recording. So you could record your Google Hangout through that, but nothing built in. Here, built-in tools go, and they record on the screen, put the recordings in here. You can also have an end user go and record as well, which I think is a good feature. Another big thing that Zoom has, you don't have to have an account to log in. You can be a complete guest. It also interfaces with a phone conferencing, so if people can call in, and not every video conferencing software does that. The third item is that some districts are anti-Google, and this is a tool you could use for them. Now, if a district is pro-Google and they're used to Google Hangout, it's probably better to use Google Hangout because of the amount of new learning it'd be to have to go and install a program, that type of thing. What we recommend for the AA levels to have as much experience and a lot of different tools that you could use at any one point in time. I've pretty much given up using Skype, although other people have, so I can still pull it up. I've used a tool called VC, right down there, which is Skype-like but allows multiple video conferencing, and it works out pretty well. The Zoom, though, works out, I think, even better than that tool with some of the features. So I've got it. I've got Google Hangout. I've got a lot of different tools I can use and join. Some people use BlueJeans. Some people use a lot of different things. It doesn't take you a lot of time to use this, and again, if you want to record and if you want to use with a school that is not a Google school, those are the two times when you would use this one. All right, a couple other questions asking about things with our Moodle class. So one asked about outlines and students using outlines, and I'm going to show you a website, and I got to this website just by a simple online outline tool. And if you Google that, it's this one here. It's Free Tech for Teachers, which is an awesome site that I like. It has 7 quick mind map tools, and I've used several of these. I've used SpiderScribe. I've used what else? Wise Mapping. I've used, and I've tried out Explorer Tree. I haven't really used it for any projects and such, but there are a lot of online mind mapping tools, the tools that create outlines. If you go all the way back to Inspiration, that was really the first tool, and that wasn't an online one, came one later on. It allowed you to create a mind map of something, and then with a click of a button, it turned it into an outline so that you could see the relationship between a mind map and an outline. You could also go the other way. You could make outline, and then it would turn it into a mind map. These programs work similarly. So, and not all of them might be what you're looking for. I know Kelly was the one who was interested in this. But a lot of them can go and you can create it quickly online, and you could save it as an image. You could even save it as a link and upload the link. And all those work really well in a Moodle class because then you don't, it doesn't take a new account per se, and you can get it really quick and such. And that's what's important for a class. You don't want to have a whole lot of other tools and other accounts in a class. You want to keep some basic ones. I had some questions about things within the class, one of which was, let me go to, here's our course. Go ahead and log in. Actually, I'm already logged in. Get into the course itself. Some people asked on the, if I go to the practice course, they went down here and they said, how do you get these quotes? Here's the Magic Johnson quote, Michael Jordan quote. How do you get those quotes in there below the items? Because up here would be no problem. They know how to do that. But how do you get them below? This is actually a label. A label is just like this, but you can put it anywhere. You can put it in between these things if you'd like. So to do that, I turn my editing on. And now you can see, here it is, and you have a little edit button just like everybody else. If I click to add a resource, I'm going to go down here, I'm going to add a label. Label's the easiest of resources to add in. You just say what the text is, put it in, and then there it is. And then you can go and you actually can move it wherever you'd like. So voila. Okay, and that's a really easy way to put in labels. Nice instructional design thing. A lot of people get the scroll of death. You can even see in my course, I said this was an old course, one of the first ones I created. I've got a lot of just lists of resources on there. Labels help, give you little headers in there, break up those lists. You can make spaces with them. It just is appealing to the eye, and it also helps direct people. You can leave directions in there as well. I want to know about the enrollment process. How do you go and do enrollment and get users in here? Okay. First off, when you are the administrator for your course, you can go under Course Administration. I said administrator, so when you're the teacher for your course. You go down to Users, And you can go to enroll users. That gives you a list of the people who've enrolled the course. But you can also go to enrollment methods. And if you click there, there'll be some different ones here. One could be, I'm going to show you the different ones you can have. Manual enrollments is one. If you click on manual enrollments, that allows you as the teacher to go and enroll people in yourself. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to click to add the method. A lot of times teachers don't have to set this up, it's already there, but I'm adding that one in. I could also put in guest access if I'd like. On our server we have an invitation one, which you could send out an invitation to. A lot of other servers do not have that, so I'm not going to show you invitation or the cohort sync. Self-enrollment as well, and I already have self-enrollment on there, so I don't need to add that in here. If I have self-enrollment, or if I don't and I have now added it, this is where a person can go in and enroll themselves. This is what our course was set up to be, as well as this. If I click on the little edit button here, you can come in here. The one key thing is right here, the enrollment key. You can either leave it blank. If you leave it blank, then they don't have to type in a password. They just click the button to enroll. If you do need an enrollment key, or if you want a password, this is where you type it in. And you can check the unmask button to see what you've typed in. And then once you've got that set up, click Save Changes. Okay, I'm going to take that off. I think someone has added that. I don't want that in there. Okay. All right, so that's a look at those. You can add in users from here if you'd like. I'm going to click on here to add users in, and this is the interface to do it. So let's say I wanted to add in another one of my accounts, maybe Zach, for example, my son. I could search for him. Information comes up, I click Add, and now he would be in the course. Click over here, Remove. And note, you can also determine which role you want, so you can make them be a non-editing teacher if you'd like. You only have permission to give permissions of those lower than you. So if you're a teacher, you can't make somebody a manager. It's just the way it is. All right, so that's a look at enrolling users. Another question about Google and Moodle integration. We've looked a little bit at that in the course. We'll go back over to our old course. A couple of things that you can do with integration. First off, if you have not seen our K-12 server, you should have seen it by now. It's a really good server. Schools have free access to our server. We do Moodle hosting for them. And you can tell a lot of AEA is taking advantage of this. Some AEAs not yet, so we really want to get those up and going. Here you can log in with your Google credentials here, so you don't have to have a new account and username. We're going to, somebody asked, well, why don't you put that onto the Moodle server? And that's because we're going to add in a new LDAP feature to our Moodle server here in probably a couple months here, so we're almost ready for that. So I could log in, with my Google credentials, and my Google credentials are the same as my off, so I'd have to log out of Google for my particular case. But a lot of people use their Google credentials from schools to go in and log into the site. So that's the first integration you need to know. I'm going to go back to meeting room. The second one is when you go and you add in an image. So let's see here. Let's do this. Update it. And come down here, click to add an image. I'm going to upload. Okay. Over here you don't see anything added in. There's no Google Apps integration on this site. However, log in here. That was kind of funny. Said it was an error and still logged me in. I like errors like that. I'm going to go to a different course. This is a Molly blended learning course that we've taught. I'm going to add in, go to a resource. Let's update this. Okay, so just like before, click to add an image, upload. Now look over here, we've added this one that says Google Drive, and this allows you to go and pick files from your Google Drive folder. Now I logged in locally. Had I used a Google account to log in, I'd already be logged in here. I wouldn't have to do this again. I'm going to click Login. And what it's going to do is it's going to go to my Google Drive account, and it's going to pull open the files I've got within there. It's looking for an image. Now that I do this, I'm thinking, boy, I don't know if I have an image or not. It's in my Google account. I don't usually upload images. So maybe instead of doing that, let me do it this way. Let me go back to the course. And instead of adding in an image, let me add in a resource. I'm going to upload a file. Same thing. I'm going to click here to add a file, Google Drive it. Now it's not looking for an image, it's looking for a file, and I've got all types of different files that I've got in there. So I can say add this one. And it's a PDF. I click say return to course. Oh, I got to call it something. And now voila, it's in there. Click on it, and it will display. As long as your computer doesn't block it. There it is. Okay, so if you have students who are using Google Apps for their own homework assignments or whatever, all they have to do is just click that to load that up, and voila, you've got it. You've got it ready. Okay. Again, we do not have, let me go back and delete that before I forget it. We don't have the Google Apps repositories, what those things are called, over on the side, turned on at the moment for our PD server, although we will be adding that in. One of the things, though, we need to do is do it without having the ability to log in with them. There's some other Google Apps type of integration. There are blocks you can put in over there that show your Google Drive inbox. Your Google Calendar can show up automatically. Your Gmail can show up automatically. And again, it has to be paired with it. It does require a little bit of setup. As I said, we went ahead and did some setup. Some districts struggle with that a little bit, but there are some good instructions online on how to do that. Okay. All right, another question about resizing an image. So going back, let's see, where is something that, let me go to the practice course again. Okay, here's an image. Let's say I want to make that a little smaller. First thing I got to do, make sure my editing is turned on. It is. I'm going to go ahead and edit my screen. I'm going to click on the image that I put in. I'm going to click back on that picture. Now see how it's highlighted? So I've got it selected. If I don't have it selected, it'll try to insert a new one. If I click on it, I can edit it. And if you remember from the tutorial, there's some tabs across the top. If I click on the Appearance tab, this is where you can go and change the picture size. So I can make it smaller here. You can also, by the way, grab it. This is a little hard to do from this screen, but before I show you the resizing by grabbing, let me finish this up. So you can change the dimensions. If you have constrained proportions, it will do it proportionally, so you don't have to change, it doesn't get stretched or whatever. You can also change the alignment, and this will show you what the alignment looks like with the text wrapping around it. Okay. Let's say I go here and I click on this button here. This will bring up my editing screen into a bigger mode. I can make my picture bigger from here. Voila. Or smaller. Voila. Or whatever the opposite of voila is. Okay, so that would be a different way of doing it. And I click off of that. Now it has been changed. Okay, and I can go and I can save it. I cancel. I don't want to make any changes there, but that's how you resize an image. All right. Got two more questions here. One asked about Ollie and how we promote it, what it is, that type of thing. One thing we set out early on to create a professional development series that would teach teachers how to teach online. It was a huge need. We in the state had really nobody who taught online 4 or 5 years ago. And we've got a lot more who can teach online or have an ability to do that. We identified what were the key standards and criteria to be an online teacher and to have good online courses. And that's what OLLI is patterned after. It's a series of courses that teach you how to do those things. So it's aligned with those standards. We have a partnership with Drake. I know Drake does some advertising through their site. We have our courses in the course catalog and we make mention of it. That's probably one thing we need to do is to help kind of get the word out a little bit more. We had some interest among schools taking online courses. I think that they'd have a lot more interest as they go along. We've added another series called Molly, which is more online learning for Iowa educators. And in addition to the 5 base course sequence, Molly gives you things such as a blended learning, synchronous learning. It has instructional design 2, facilitation 2, lots of different things like that. So we've got a lot of courses out there, and I think in time, the word has gotten out. There have been a lot of people who've taken them. They are some of our more popular courses that we've got on our catalog. So. And the last question was asked about keeping students on pace, and is there something more you can do than the pacing guide? And this is a good question. If you're into online learning and you subscribe to newsletters or RSS feeds about this is one of the discussions that comes up quite a bit, is that student pacing and keeping students on pace. In a PD world, this isn't such a big deal. We allow adults a lot more flexibility than I might allow K-12 students, because with adults there's some amount of freedom and flexibility that goes along with that. So we try to do things such as, I know you can't see it on here, but back in our screen we had the calendar set up with picture deadlines on there. Pacing charts help. That's just so people have an idea of how much time it's going to take to do things. In the K-12 world, a couple things that people use that really work well. One is they have daily announcements. Every day, announcement comes, this is what you should be doing this day. Another one is a checklist, and I don't think I have a checklist on here. Go to my Molly course. Let me go, actually, I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'll talk about how you can use it. Here's a checklist. What this is something that we've got a project in here in this course where they go and they make a unit. It's going to be very similar to what we're going to do in our instructional design course. So I will probably add something like a checklist into that. And I just want them to go and, on their own say, yeah, I did this, I did this, I did this. It's just kind of a check, and it is a nice little thing here. Once you've checked it all, then you're all done. And the teacher gets an email that says, hey, this person's all done with their checklist. You can click here to view the progress of all the different students in the course. Okay, and again, people will go in, and this is a little misleading because this is actually all the people, period. But here's one of the participants who took my course previously, and you can see he's checked off different things. Okay. And then you can also edit that checklist. Okay, and so here I can go in, I can add in things, I can rearrange them and such. It's a nice little tool. Using these, and then as a teacher you can go in and see them. Very good strategy to use as well. A couple other things with that. I'm going to go back to the course. Another item you can do, if you go into your course administration and you go to edit settings, go down to completion tracking, and you can enable completion tracking to take place. Once you've done that, you can go into an item, for example, this one. And we're down every item, the last thing will now say activity completion. And you can change that so that either students can mark it when they've completed it, or you can set criteria so that the computer marks it when they complete it. Let's say we do this one, return to the course. You'll now know it's ready for activity completion because there's a little checkbox over here. And so students can check that they've marked it. If you let the computer do it, for this one, all you can do is read it. But for others, like an assignment, now I can check here that they've got to view it. They also have to submit it, or they must receive a grade on it to be marked as complete. I can do all three of those if I'd like. So those are ways to go and create those. Then what you can do is you can add in an activity completion block. Not on the front page though, or I gotta be on the front page, I believe. So yeah, here's your course completion status that you can add in that block, and then that will monitor how many things you got are. Another one you can add in is one called a progress bar, and this is an add-on thing that we've got on our servers. Okay, as a teacher, you can then go here, just like the activity bar, and oh, I didn't want to do that, but you can select the things within here, whether they're monitored or not, whether they're locked to the deadline. Lots of different settings. Do lots of things in this class, by the way. And then it will show a visual bar of whether you got something in. Red means it's past the deadline. Blue means it's not past the deadline. Green means you've submitted that in. So that's another way of trying to keep people on track. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and remove that block. The last item is something that is not through Moodle, but it's something that Iowa Learning Online uses and we really recommend K-12 schools use, and that's the online coach. That the student taking an online course, even if the teacher's from afar, that they would have a teacher locally that would act as a coach that they would meet once a day. It doesn't have to be a long meeting. It can be a minute, it can be just a stop-in, check-in type of thing. Could be the counselor, it could be the at-risk coordinator, it could be a special education teacher, it could be a talented and gifted teacher, it could be a lot of different people. But just, stop in and somebody who the distance teacher could contact if they can't get a hold through the student. So having a local coach is a really good idea. Sometimes in a PD world, sometimes I wish I had local coaches to get a hold of students I can't get a hold of normally. So those are some features on keeping students on pace. All right. So, and as you can see, I can use Zoom or I can use another tool like that to do a virtual Q&A to answer questions like I did and share with people. It's a great strategy to use. Probably wouldn't do as many questions, might do 2 or 3 questions a time and spread those out. We just did kind of the one formal one to give people credit for, so that's kind of the purpose of it. All right. And with that, I hope you have a good last unit of Moodle, and I'll talk to you later.